Welcome to the Paleontological News with Christopher here from Dinosaurs with Christopher. This is the 2025 recap of the Paleontological News. So starting off with our first paleontological find, we have fossil site in Bolivia records of thousands of Cretaceous dinosaur tracks, trail traces, and swimming tracks. December 4th, 2025. Fossil trackways are so cool. You can see some theropod-looking tracks down below in the pictures in this image. The Canaras Papa site in Toronto National Park, Bolivia, records of 1,321 tracks and 281 solitary tracks of, I was correct, totaling 16,600 theropod dinosaurs. For more on this article, the link will be down below in the description or in the comments down below. On to our next paleontological find. Our next paleontological find, paleontologists discover a new species of Mamenchisaur dinosaur, a new species of the sauropod dinosaur genus Mamenchisaurus has been discovered in China dating back to late Cretaceous epoch. Mamenchisaurus, I'm not going to pronounce that because I may butcher it, is a sauropod dinosaur that roamed our planet during the early Oxfordian age of the Jurassic period, some 160 million years ago. To read more about it, link down in the bio or in the comments down below. On to the next paleontological find. Our next paleontological find is the earliest known giant mackerel sharks lived 115 million years ago in Australian waters. Good old land down under. The landforms are the order of sharks commonly known as mackerel sharks, include some of the most familiar species of sharks such as great whites and mako sharks, as well as less familiar ones such as the goblin sharks and megamouth sharks. The discovery of enormous 115 million year old shark fossils in northern Australia reveals the landiform shark species formed from enormous body sizes around 115 million years earlier than previously suspected, and took to the top place in the oceanic food chains alongside massive marine reptiles during the age of dinosaurs. And next to this, in this picture here, you can see like a plesiosaur or elasmosaur plesiosaur next to this shark. So sharks have been around on our planet for a very long time, earlier than dinosaurs, and now that there is new finds of new sharks are extremely extraordinary and spectacular. This is a very interesting find, and I'm actually very, very elated and excited to hear this news, and that sharks are one of the coolest and oldest creatures on our planet. So this is an excellent find. I'm very enthusiastic to report on this paleontological article. You can read more down in the description or in the comments down below. On to the next paleontological find. Our next paleontological find, early long-necked marine reptile unearthed in China. The exceptionally long-necked of Luginosaurus. Oh, that's a hard name to pronounce. Pronounce it on your own. I'm not even attempting to. Contained 42 convergent vertebrae, according to a researcher led by paleontologists from the Institute of Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleontology in the Chinese Academy of Sciences. And in this picture, you can see a marine reptile. All right, on to the next marine reptile, link down below for the article. New filter-feeding pterosaur species discovered in Brazil, named Barcuruumba wadazudi, a newly identified species is the first filter-feeding pterosaur from the tropics. And here we have a picture of the filter-feeding pterosaur. This pterosaur looks like it has adapted to eating shrimp and crayfish, kind of like a flamingo almost. It's like a filter-feeding pterosaur that has adapted to filter feeding, kind of like how whales and flamingos sift through the water. And this is an extraordinary adaptation, and this is just spectacular news, and you can read more about it in the link down below. New fossils from West Texas extended known range of Tenontosaurus. Paleontologists from the New Mexico Museum of Natural History and Science, the University of Texas at El Paso, and Montana State University have discovered the fossil bones of Tenontosaurus sp, an early Cretaceous ornithopod dinosaur from North America in the Yucca Formation in the West Texas, United States. This southernmost record of Tenontosaur in the western interior is about 400 kilometers east of Arizona records and about 900 kilometers southwest of records in north central Texas. You can see a picture of Tenontosaur. Alright, on to the next paleontological article. New species of sauropod dinosaur identified in museum drawer. A fossil brain case of partial skull roof from Carnthenic Museum of Natural History has been reassessed and reclassified, giving rise to a new genus and species of discrosaurid sauropod dinosaur. Athorna lived in what is now Utah and United States during the late Jurassic 151 to 150 million years ago. Goes to show to look in your drawers and always not let fossils sit for too long. As a reminder, always keep track of what you have with your fossils. And now I'll go on to the next paleontological article. Paleontologists discover new species of early Triassic coelacanth. Paleontologists in China have described a new species of coelacanth genus Whiteteria on the base of two fossilized specimens. This discovery extends the spatial range of Whitella in the early Triassic and documents of oldest specimens of the genus in Asia, predominating the previous oldest record of whited coelacanths in the continent by 9 million years ago. Beautiful coelacanth fossil. To read more, link in the bottom. On to our next paleontological find. Two new specimens of Edmontosaurus annectus preserved fine details of scales and hooves. Paleontologists have examined two exceptional specimens of in Cretaceous duck-billed dinosaurs, Edmontosaurus annectans. Using an X-ray imaging techniques, they reconstructed the fleshy appearance of the specimens in life, from a tail crest over the neck and trunk to a spike row over its tail and hooves sheltering its toes, combined with fossilized footprints and appearance of Edmontosaurus annectans, is now at hand. So how this specimen was preserved was that it was preserved in fine sediment. Now, this is an extremely rare case. There is one other dinosaur documentary called Dinosaur Mummy that talked about how this happens, but this is very rare and very exciting news, and is quite extraordinary that sediments and soils can preserve million-year-old dinosaurs, and it's just extraordinary. To read more about this article and find out more, link in the description or comments below. New species of domed head dinosaur identified in Montana. Paleontologists have described a new genus and species of pachycephalosaurid dinosaur from 5 fossil specimens found in late Cretaceous to Medicine Formation in Montana in the United States. The new dinosaur specimen lived in North America during the late Cretaceous epoch some 75 million years ago. And there's a picture and description of what this animal might have looked like. You can see more about it in the description or comments down below. On to the next dinosaur. New species of carnivorous dinosaur identified in Argentina. A new member of the Megaraptorian dinosaur family has been discovered by a team of paleontologists from Argentina and the United States. Down below is a description or a picture of what it might have looked like. Just an artist's rendition of the dinosaur. The new dinosaur species lived in what is now Patagonia, Argentina during the latest part of the Cretaceous period between 70 and 67 million years ago, and probably would have seen the asteroid impact, unfortunately. Link to this article down below in the description or comments down below. On to the next article. New species of Triassic carnivorous dinosaur identified in Argentina. Again, a new genus specimens of theropod dinosaur being named Antennitheus. I cannot pronounce that. I don't want to butcher that name. Has been described by a team of paleontologists from the UNCED Nacia de San Juan Museo Argentino de Centenares Naturales. It's a university in Argentina, I believe. To read more about this, link will be down below, as always. Fossils from long and narrow-snouted ichthyosaur discovered in England. University of Manchester paleontologist Dean Lumrex and his colleagues have identified a new genus and species of Lenopticid ichthyosaur from fossilized specimens found in Dorset, England. This is an artist's rendition of what an ichthyosaur would have looked like. The life reconstructed of, I am not even going to try to pronounce it because I do not want to butcher the poor ichthyosaur's name. Picture will be in the article will be in the link down below. The newly complete skeleton of a dolphin-sized ichthyosaur was found in Golden Chap in 2021 by Dorset fossil collector Chris Moore. You can read more about it in the link down below with the article. New species of abelosaurid dinosaur discovered in Argentina. We have a lot of finds from Argentina. A new genus and species from Abelosaurid theropod dinosaur has been discovered by a team of paleontologists from Argentina, Brazil, and the United Kingdom. To read more about this article, a link will be down below in the description or the comments. On to the next paleontological article. Paleontologists discovered new pterosaur species in Brazil. Oh, specimens and species. Scientifically named, oh my goodness. These names are very, very, very easy to butcher with your own tongue. My goodness. The new species represents the first Brazilian Asdarca pterosaur and bears striking similarity are these just specimens from the Hazek Basin of Romania. So it's now I'm confused if it's European or South American. Well, to read more about this article, link will be down below. New species of iguanodontian dinosaur. It's in the iguanodontian family of ornithopod dinosaurs. These are not hadrosaurs, they're their own ornithopod dinosaurs. A team of paleontologists from Portugal, Italy, and the United States and Belgium, a combination of 4 countries altogether, has added another species of herbivorous dinosaur to the prehistoric catalog, and that is one name that I do not want to butcher. And down below we have an artist's rendition of what this dinosaur would have looked like. It lived in what is now Portugal during the Barmenian age of the Cretaceous period, around 125 million years ago. So kind of early to mid-Cretaceous, I would say. Hopefully, if I'm not getting my time wrong, I'd say this is probably early or mid-Cretaceous period. So really cool find. To read more about it, link down below. World's oldest ankylosaur had a unique, elaborate demal armor. The armored ankylosaurid dinosaurs are best known from the late Cretaceous northern hemisphere ecosystems, but earlier evolution in the early mid-Jurassic is shrouded in mystery due to poor fossil record. Spincomelosus melus was suggested to be the world's oldest ankylosaur and the first from Africa, but was based on only a single partial rib from the Middle Jurassic of Morocco. Now paleontologists have described a new, much more complete specimen that confirms the ankylosaurian affiliate Spicomeleosus and demonstrated that it was uniquely elaborate dermal armor, unlike that of any other vertebrate living or extinct. To find out what this dinosaur looked like, well, you can see that it's spiky, but to learn more about it, link down below in the description. 2 new species of pterosaur discovered in Mongolia. Paleontologists have described 2 new species of Azhdarchid pterosaurs from fossils found in late Cretaceous Bashara Formation in Mongolia Gobi Desert. The 2 new species lived in Mongolia during the late Cretaceous epoch between 96 and 90 million years ago. And as you can see, that these are ferocious predatory pterosaurs that do not eat fish. They eat other smaller dinosaurs, and they would be I'm kind of glad that they're extinct, because if they were alive today, they'd be eating people's cats and dogs, and it would not be a pretty sight. But to read more about this article, link down below and the description down below to read more about it. On to the last 2 articles. 75-million-year-old dragonfly species found, named Cordylanissa acornea. The new dragonfly species from Alberta Dinosaur Provincial Park represents the only Mesozoic dragonfly from Canada and fills the major 3 million year gap in the evolutionary history of dragonflies. The fossilized wing coordinate, this dragonfly discovered in 2023 by the undergrad student from McGill University during the vertebrate paleontology field course in Dinosaur Provincial Park. To read more about this dragonfly and find out more about this dragonfly, link down below in the description or in the comments. All right, my least favorite, but I have to report on it. The find of Nanotyrannus being a distinct dinosaur lineage, a new research shows. Now, this is big paleontological news because I just found out towards the end of the year, and it absolutely rocked me to my core, and I was completely disappointed because it's one of my least favorite dinosaurs, but I have to talk about it, so here I go. Paleontologists examine an exceptionally well-preserved near centenary mature Tyrannosaurus skeleton from Hell Creek Formation of Montana. Their research show that the specimen share features with the holotype specimen of Nanotyrannus, and it demonstrates that this lineage is distinguishable from Tyrannosaurus. The fossil flips decades of Tyrannosaurus rex research on its head, said Dr. Lindsay Zano, a researcher in North Carolina State University and the North Carolina Museum of Natural Science. Now, the reason why I do not like Nanotyrannus and this find completely disappoints me, and it may shock some of you all, but the reason why I'm not very fond of Nanotyrannus is because I was introduced to Nanotyrannus by the dinosaur documentary or show, whatever you call it, Jurassic Fight Club, which is, of course, the not so scientific. I'd say it's more of a History Channel. It was a History Channel dinosaur fight show where they pinned dinosaurs to fight each other. And Jurassic Fight Club was definitely one of the least favorite dinosaur documentaries, in my personal opinion. For Nanotyrannus to become valid again and becoming its own genus is something that scientifically I have to accept, because there's some possible scientific finds and I have to be a scientist and accept the possibility of Nanotyrannus possibility being a scientific genus. But overall, I'm kind of disappointed at this find, because Nanotyrannus, of course, is a dinosaur that is very least of my favorites, probably next to Pteranodon, which is not a dinosaur, but it's a prehistoric creature that's in my category of least favorite prehistoric creatures. And that Nanotyrannus is now becoming valid again is definitely that's going to rock my prehistoric dinosaur boat, probably for the rest of the 5 years going forward. Now, if you enjoyed this paleontological news, please hit the like button, subscribe to Dinosaurs with Christopher. And with that said and done, the paleontological news for 2025 recap is finally over. I hope you appreciated this paleontological news, and if you made it this far, comment down below what was your favorite paleontological find, and if you say Nanotyrannus, I will definitely be putting a dinosaur tooth somewhere in your window. Just kidding. Of course, I don't have very many dinosaur teeth. Until next time, signing off.